much. Have a roll call to establish presence of a quorum. Ward 1.
Here.
Ward 2.
Here.
Ward 3.
Here.
Ward 4.
Here.
Mayor here. We do have a quorum. First item on the agenda is citizens to be heard. Do I have any forms filled out? Do I have anybody that signed up?
No, sir, I did not receive any.
That makes that easy. Next item on the agenda. Presentation of Lifeguard Rescue Award to Sammy Lopez. I've got a little article here I need to read for you, and we're going to do something that we really enjoy doing, is recognizing the good work of one of our lifeguards. So on July 10th, 2025, 2 young swimmers were enjoying the deep end of the pool near the incline to the shallow area, where several adults were engaged in synchronized walking. As the adults moved rapidly in one direction, they unintentionally created a whirlpool effect that began pulling the young swimmers underwater. Their mother, nearby and aware of the danger, attempted to assist both children, but quickly found herself struggling in the strong current. All 3 swimmers were in distress. Lifeguard Sammy Lopez, on duty and observant, recognized the emergency and immediately activated the emergency action plan. He entered the water without hesitation, performed a front active rescue of the children, and swiftly took control of the situation, also assisting the mother. With professionalism and calm under pressure, Lifeguard Lopez brought all 3 individuals safely to the pool's edge, where responding lifeguards assisted in removing them from the water. Thanks to Lifeguard Lopez's quick thinking and decisive action, a potential drowning was prevented. We're proud to recognize Sammy Lopez with the Lifeguard Rescue Award for going above and beyond service and safety. If you'll come right up here in front, I'd like to give you
Here, we also have a video. You can go ahead and we'll get our pictures.
That way everybody sees. Somebody come get all the pictures. Congratulations, thank you so much. It's very rare that we have somebody that gets to do something as important as saving somebody's life. And there's nothing that anybody could ask more of you. And we're extremely proud when that kind of thing happens. I can remember a really long time ago with Boy Scouts learning how to do that, never had the challenge to do what you did. But we appreciate it and want to give you this as a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much. God bless you a bunch.
That was good.
You can see how quick that happened, and you wouldn't think right in front of the lifeguard stand that somebody would be drowning.
Yeah.
But what we'd like to do real quick is call up our lifeguard instructors and recognize them. We have Mark Prolano, Aaron Wilson, and Addison Brown. And so we've made it a practice to train our own lifeguards to the highest standard we possibly can and hold them accountable. We've had our neighboring cities send their lifeguards to us for training. And these guys, Sammy's a new lifeguard, he did a great job, but it's all because of my instructors. They're training all the lifeguards for us, and like I said, the neighboring cities. So I just want to recognize these guys.
We appreciate y'all more than you can have. Thank you so very much. All right. Next item on the agenda is consent agenda. Following items may be acted upon in single motion. No separate discussion or action on any of these items will be held unless pulled at the request of a member of the city council. Does anybody wish to remove any of those? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent items as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Have a motion and a second. Any further question? We'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Next item on the agenda. Consider the revision of the land use assumptions and capital improvement plans for water, wastewater impact fees. We have a staff presentation by, there she is, Ms. Dietrich.
Is it on?
Yeah, the light came on and it's working.
Well, all right. I thought it'd be green, but it's red. That's okay. So tonight is the public hearing for the impact fee update. And that's to receive comments from the public. And then you'll have your action item where you will review the ordinance and make a decision on what percentage of the impact fees you'll want to charge. You'll notice the ordinance has blank numbers because I'm waiting for you to decide what you're going to do, 100% or 50% or whatever. The Impact Fee Advisory Committee has recommended that you approve 100%, and staff is in agreement with that recommendation.
Okay.
I believe Miss Stephanie was going to be on Zoom, but I don't see her. Is she there? Okay. In case you have questions that I can't answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This is a public hearing, so if you are present and would like to address this issue, please come forward. You have 3 minutes and we'll be happy to hear you. Nobody wants to get up in front of everybody and talk. All right, we will close the public hearing and continue with the item. Thank you, young man. Appreciate you. Whose turn is it?
Now you're going to do your action item, I believe. The recommendation from P&Z, and you have that letter. Oh, okay. Okay. So the letter from the, not P&Z, the Impact Fee Advisory Committee, recommends that it would be reasonable to set the new impact fees at 100% of the maximum allowable. And like I said, staff agrees with that recommendation. You have in your packet the impact fee report that we discussed at the last meeting. And so if you have any questions about percentages or what this means for you, I'm open, and I believe Miss Stephanie is online.
Okay.
Sherry, would you mind to give us an update or a synopsis of maybe how many times the impact fee committee met? Kind of
Sure.
a little bit of the process that it went through.
Sure.
How they arrived at where they are.
Well, we started in September of 2024. You passed a resolution appointing the Planning and Zoning Committee along with a member from the ETJ as the Impact Fee Advisory Committee. And we had our first meeting in September. And then we met again in May, twice in May, to get the updates from Freeze and Nichols. And on the May 19th meeting is when we got the actual maximum allowed calculations. They were really quite thorough. Freeze and Nichols really did a phenomenal job. I'm very impressed. And there was another way to configure it, as was brought up. And perhaps on the next renewal, you want to go that route. But we did this route because it was quicker, and it basically will come to the same conclusion, in our opinion. But it was really good. We had some really good meetings, some really good discussions. I believe the minutes of those meetings were in your packet last time as well. And so now it's time to do the deal, make that decision. And it's not an easy decision. But granted that we've been a lot of years having not done an update, we are so far behind, and there are so many things that need to be done that the impact fees will pay for. And so that our citizens are not paying for out of pocket. So,
Okay, appreciate it. Council, questions? We had the workshop and have discussed this at some length. Y'all's turn.
Carrie, can we go over the 100% recommendation from the impact fee, committee?
sure.
And then what the 50% credit is for the state law. So we're going for the maximum, but then there's a credit in there after
And
the
that's a
fact.
Stephanie question to explain. I could explain it, but I won't do it justice. Is Miss Stephanie online?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So was the question related to how the credit was calculated to get to the maximum allowable impact fee?
Stephanie, it's Brad, or Councilmember Brundrett, sorry. The question is, so we have, the recommendation is the 100% maximum allowable fees, is what's recommended from the impact, fee committee and staff. And then can you explain to us the 50% credit, where that comes in and how that affects us, our fees?
Yes, so the 50% credit is part of the calculation to determine the maximum allowable impact fee. So that's part of those calculations, what we presented to the impact fee advisory committee. So they're recommending 100%, so that full maximum allowable, but that already has the 50% credit calculated to get the maximum allowable fee.
Stephanie, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but Brad, I believe the 50% credit is to compensate for future rate payers, future rates paid by the new residents. So their rates, their water rates, sewer rates, and again, stop me if I'm wrong, Stephanie, but their rates have some element of the capital improvement built into them as well. You'll know that when we did the rate study, we had our capital improvement plan. And so now we have a capital improvement plan that goes with this. And we're assuming when we put a new house on, the rate that is set for them is going to have an element of that capital improvement plan incorporated in their rates. That's correct?
Yes, yeah, it's kind of twofold there. So yes, the intent of the credit in general through Chapter 395 is to avoid double charging. So the customers that are coming onto the system and ultimately paying that impact fee through the developer are going to become future rate payers, and we don't want those same rates to be used to pay for that impact fee CIP without giving some kind of credit for that. So it's anything that's included in your rates, even current or past rates that pay for impact fee eligible projects, because you can reimburse yourself through the impact fees, as well as future rate payers in that process, yeah.
Stephanie, I have a question. If we did not do the 50% credit, the new developments would have to have an adjusted rate to compensate for not having that credit in their impact fees. Is that correct or incorrect?
It wouldn't be a credit for the new development or anything to do with the rates necessarily. If you have to give a credit no matter what through the requirements of Chapter 385. So the two methodologies are either taking the straight 50%, basically assuming that about half of the CIP is getting paid for through rates and half of it's going to come through impact fees. If you do that in-depth analysis and you determine that it's really 60-40, then your credit that's applied is based on that analysis. And then your rate study uses probably those same assumptions in what you include as far as the CIP and how the rates are set to cover those CIP projects.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I mean,
Sorry.
the money has to come from either rates or impact fees, so how you're including it in both is kind of what that credit calculation is meant to do, is kind of refine that a little bit. But you are making some assumptions on how future rates are funding CIP. That's why we update impact fees every 5 years, to make sure that we are staying in line with all those assumptions on the rate side as well as the CIP side, and where those projects, or how they're being funded.
Like if a new development comes in September 1 of this year, but on one of those lots, I don't build a house for 15 years. Hopefully within the next 15 years, every 5 years we do a new cycle, we catch that lot up on either rate. That's how we would, is that how that law would be adjusted for the impact fee?
So,
The,
go ahead.
the impact fee, you're required to have that assessed based on the plat date. So you, even though you collect it at building permit time, the program that the, parcel would fall under would be based on that plat date.
So
So if
any
they
of
don't
the
replat or do
increases,
anything in those 15 years, it would still be based on the program of when that individual lot was platted.
so any increases in the next 15 years would not apply to that lot. They would still pay the impact fee that was in effect at the time of platting. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay,
Thank you.
one last thing. The impact to existing customers, existing customers, ratepayers, taxpayers right now will not be affected by this impact fee because we already live in our house, we already have our lots, everything like that. Is the way this is set up, is it fair to our existing ratepayers, and is it as non-punitive or as fair as it can be to new development, being that we're so far behind on our existing fees?
Well, being fair is someone's opinion of what's fair. I don't believe that it's,
So Stephanie, I would let you answer that based on the study, because that is part of the study is
Yeah.
minimizing, the transfer of funds or the use of existing taxpayers' payment towards new development. So can you answer Councilmember Brundrett's question?
I'm not sure I understood the question. Is it fair to developers and ratepayers? Is that?
Yeah, I guess fair is a poor choice of words there, but existing ratepayers are not going to be impacted by this impact fee study. Is it non-punitive to new development, being that because we're so far behind, we are playing catch up a little bit. The way I look at our graph in the study, we're middle of the road for development in Texas as far as fees go. So to me, it still seems a little, we are still supporting development. We're not trying to drive it away. So I feel like we could have gone higher, but that may have cost us in the long run. So in my opinion, I think it is still fair to development, even though it is going to be increase some cost for development.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a balance that you guys have to decide. The commission that you appointed on this had some very in-depth discussion about what this would do to development. And actually, I think it was a developer that made the recommendation to go 100%. And he said, probably against my better judgment, and I'll probably hear from my friends, but it's the right thing to do. I'm paraphrasing, but you can listen to the meeting, but Carrie, that's basically what he said. So, they had some good discussion about what it would do to development.
and to be honest, I've had a number of calls asking questions from contractors and developers, and I've honestly gotten no negative feedback. I was a bit surprised, but, nobody wants to pay extra fees, obviously.
Certainly.
I believe they understand the purpose of it and the need for it, so.
Can I ask a question to piggyback off of that? Is this on?
Yeah, your light is green.
Push the button on the right.
Yeah, we'll get used to it at one point. Just to ask, so if we're going to 100%, and then we could do more, if we went above the 100%, how the study goes, wouldn't that set us up for just a lot of
I
negative
don't think you can.
Yeah, if you go
Let's say we're at
above,
the highest mark, right? I'm just trying to make
yeah,
sure
if
I
you go
understand that.
above what your study recommends,
Yes.
you open yourself up for legal trouble.
So that's, to me, when you're asking if it's fair, that would be fair because we're going as high as we possibly can. So I just want to make sure I understand that question. If it's fair to developers or if it's going to hinder development, we're going as high as we possibly can. We can't do more based on our study because it would, in the long run, hurt us more than it would help us.
Well, if you want to do more, you need to go back to the drawing board and calculate the actual cost, which is what she was just saying.
Okay, just make sure.
The maximum you can do here is the number that she's recommended, because that's what our study is based on. It's just like our water rates. They've said, here's your maximum rate you can go on. You can take the maximum or anything below it. It's the same kind of thing. And if you go above it, then of course you would be opening yourself up, I believe, for legal trouble.
That was more.
So an opportunity to go for more than is asked tonight is a direction to us to go back to the drawing board, which is fine if that's what you guys want to do, but that's what that would be.
I think that it has been a long time since we have done anything to change what our impact fees are.
Yes, sir.
And the fact of the business is, if we go to what the 100% maximum is right now, it will be several times what we've been collecting in the past. We're also, in a study like this, there's a lot of it that is speculation. We believe based on past experience and past things that have gone on with the city, we think we know what will go on in the future to some degree. So we're running 5 or 6 new houses a month or whatever that number is, we will still collect significantly more than we have in the past. And if we find out over the next 5 years that that is not enough to offset the cost for future development, then that can be changed. But it appears on the face of it that what we have is a significant enough increase to be beneficial to us. But I don't see it being punitive to people that are thinking of moving here. Other council?
Yes, I want to make sure, looking at the same graph, we've all looked at it a couple of meetings now, from a layman's perspective. Basically, if someone was to hook up water and sewer now and they built a house this month, they'd pay roughly the $1,100 that we've been charging for some time now. That's correct, Carrie? And if we approve this at the 100% level that we are looking at from the recommendation from the committee, would be about, that same house under the new rules would be about roughly $78.75.
Correct.
Right, like Mayor mentioned, a substantial increase. I want to make sure I was understanding that right. I felt like I was. And it sounds like with that kind of an increase, that just puts us, as everyone's seen the graph, that we're right in the middle. We've got Portland and, Tomball and other places on here. We're right in the middle of what everybody else is doing, so I think we're fair there. I think going with this here, and then like Mayor said, 3 to 5 years, seeing how it does, and letting developers know that we now have funding for these projects. When they look at a project down here, they understand that we're right in the middle of the road with everybody else. We're charging, again, similar to other municipalities of this size, and that there is now proper funding for these projects. So when they want to, go a particular part in town and put a 100-home subdivision in, they understand that we've done the right thing, and there is funding to bring services out there, so they won't have to fight that battle and what have you. The cost is still going to be there, and that homeowner will absorb it, but I think this will be viewed, at least part of it, as a positive for these future developers, going, hey, they've made the right decision, and there's funding for these projects should they get passed.
Correct.
Anyone else?
I just have one thing to add. I just think that moving forward, the council should definitely be involved in the discussion and decision-making on the level or complexity of a study like this, so that, like, last time it was brought in front of us, we were kind of figuring out, that the decision had been made on doing the more simple versus complex calculations. So that'd be my recommendation, that we would have at least a discussion or decision made regarding the council on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mayor, I'd just like to thank Freeze and Nichols and the Impact Fee Advisory Committee for all their hard work in this year-long process, plus year-long, and staff to go along with that. Thank y'all for getting us to this point.
All right. Question, council, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve item 12, part 4, the first two readings, ordinance 1981, updating the fees by amending chapter 22 to the maximum of 100%.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? If not, I'll call for a vote. Ward one,
Aye.
Ward two,
Aye.
Ward three,
Aye.
Ward four.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Thank you. Next item, consider approval of resolution 2025-23R, approving and adopting an investment policy and strategy for the city of Rockport, Texas, and making various provisions related to the subject. Mr. Sorrell.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening. Bringing this to you, this is a Public Funds Investment Act that we're subject to. This was passed back in 1987. Basically, it is an unfunded mandate for a treasurer position is really what this is. Of course, we just have to absorb it. We're too small to have a separate position for it. Currently, right now, Vanessa and myself are the only investment officers for the city. That means we have to take, every 2 years, we have to take, I believe it's 10 and a half or 10 hours of public funds training through accredited associations, and so we have to do that. What also goes along with this is that with this PFIA, we also have to approve a resolution every year. And in it, it includes a written policy. And what this policy does is it kind of governs what we can invest in, what's the durations or weighted average maturities that we can invest in these different types of assets or investments, and that we're going to safeguard those assets. Basically, if you look at the administration of what we can invest in, the best thing to invest in are investment pools. That's really what this comes down to, because anything else requires too much time, especially when you're having to absorb multiple positions into one. So that's really what this is. In looking at what some of the changes that are redlined here in this policy, we took out the V and E because we're not using that anymore, because Senate Bill 2 of 2019 made funding any vehicles and equipment. You can't do that operationally. We've had to push that to on the capital side, on the INS side. It also includes breaking out some acronyms so that some of this makes a little more sense. It does get very technical. I'm not kidding myself or anyone else on it, but it is these are very conservative investments, and again, they're structured leaning very heavily toward with investment pools. There are a listing, I believe it's on Schedule B, of the different entities that we can invest with. They're the ones that we've been using all along. It's just, again, listing them out as required per the PFIA. And so what we're asking tonight is for council to approve this resolution and this plan, please.
Council, what's your pleasure?
I've got a question for Robbie. So it sounds like we're not changing a great deal here. We're not changing pools. This is just a continuing, a request for continuing permission to continue using the same pools.
Yeah.
And they've been successful for us in the past, it sounds
Yes,
like.
sir. Yes, sir. They do a good job. They're used by a number of public entities in the state, and but what this is that it's supposed to be brought forth to council to be approved every year, and so we're trying to get back on track on that, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions, council?
I move to approve item 13 as presented.
I have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? We will call for vote. Ward one,
Aye.
Ward two,
Aye.
Ward three,
Aye.
Ward four. Mayor, aye. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Next item, consider approval of resolution 2025-25R, supporting the nomination of Councilmember Brad Brundrett for the position of Regional Director of Texas Municipal League Board of Directors, representing Region 11, and providing an effective date. We'll do 15, then we'll go back. I'll read the other one. We're gonna do Brad Brundrett, then I'll go back and pick up 15. I went past one. I checked off one before I actually finished it. So anyway, we'll take care of Brad. That's an easy one. Questions, council?
I make a motion to approve agenda item number 15.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? Call for a vote. Ward one,
Aye.
Ward two,
Aye.
Ward three,
Abstain.
Ward four.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous with one abstention. Item number 14 that we passed by inadvertently. Consider approval of Resolution 2025-24R, approving a deed of gift to the Friends of the History Center for Aransas County for certain items from the 1971 Time Capsule, authorizing the mayor to execute said deed of gift and establishing an effective date. Ms. Goodwin.
So what this is we had a time capsule from 2020, and it had gotten wet, and some of the documents were not preserved correctly. The city does not have means currently to handle this, plus they had been wet for quite a long time. And Eric Koenig spoke to the appraisal or the historic district, and they felt that they could take the documents and restore them and keep them. So in order to do that, so that we have a record of the transfer of what happened to these documents, we have to do a resolution. And so we have it showing, because they are considered city records until you gift them.
Questions, council?
Just how the agenda reads, it says from 1971 time capsule. It's shut down. The time capsule was closed in 1971. It was underground and in the water apparently when Hurricane Harvey hit in 2017, and it was opened at that time because they were trying to see how wet it was, and obviously water poured out of it. So they started trying to dry stuff out even back then. And in 2020, they started really trying to prepare for 2021 was the planned, or 20, I can't remember if it was 2020 or 2021 was the planned celebration period and things. And because of COVID, we were kind of shut down from our planning period. So we did a lot of stuff remotely for opening that time capsule. No, yeah, so the wording on here is still correct. I just want to make sure when we approve this that the wording is correct and we're doing the resolution. It was shut in 1971, and 50 years later, we officially opened it. Well, I make a motion to approve agenda item number 14.
Have a motion, have a second.
I'll second.
Have a second. Any further question?
I just want to say it was pretty cool to go back and see some of the things from 1971. Some letters from my parents, my grandparents were in there. We got to see some of them that some things were destroyed. But anyways, it was pretty neat seeing that stuff. So thankful we can give a gift deed to the History Center to see if they can preserve some of the things.
All right. Have a motion, second. Any further question? Call for a vote. Ward one,
Aye.
Ward two,
Aye.
Ward three,
Aye.
Ward four.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 16, consider approval to award contract B&J Titus for the removal of abandoned underground fuel tanks located adjacent to city fleet facilities. Mr. Sorrell.
Thank you. This is, we had two tanks out at the fleet yard. One of them was diesel, the other was gasoline. When Harvey hit, it destroyed both of them. The city had to move to using WEX cards. We decided we liked using those WEX cards very much. It was a lot better. Somebody else was dealing with the paperwork. We just got a bill, and we got a 0.5% discount on top of that. So it was good. But those tanks needed to be removed. TCQ doesn't like the tanks in the ground, and insurance can't stand them. So Jody went out and got 3 bids. He did a really good job on that, and got 3 bids. The lowest bid was from B&J Titus to come in at $52,567 to remove those tanks, and hopefully we don't have to do any additional reclamation on top of that. Hopefully not. But they would come in, dig them out, and then cap it back off. It would take about a month. We have to give TCEQ a month's heads up notice, for, I guess, any inspections, or if they want to be on site whenever they do this, is probably the reason. But so it's going to have to be a month out. We do want to try to have this project complete before year end, because we want to use these current operating monies is what we cobble together. And so because this wasn't on the original CIP, we wanted to bring this, of course, and have you all approve it. But we did have a little extra money in our operating funds, and so we wanted to go on and get this knocked out before having to budget it next year.
Okay. Questions, council?
I just want to make a comment more. I know we've talked about this for many years, trying to get this done, so I think it's very important. It's been an issue and kind of a thorn in our side, so I appreciate you guys finding the budget where we can actually finally get whatever items that we've been talking about done here, so thank you very much.
Group effort, thank you.
Robbie, I've got a question,
Yes, sir.
because I'm still new here. I guess this is you said they were damaged during Harvey.
Yes.
Was there I'm assuming somewhere along the line, someone did a phase 2 environmental. Have we determined if there's any leakage or problems? Because if they remove those tanks and then they find problems, it could double or triple the budget requirement real quickly.
It could involve some reclamation work, absolutely. We don't know until we.
Because none of that testing's been done yet.
Testing, yes, sir.
Okay, a lot of times they'll drill down beside them looking for leakage and things of that nature, so we haven't done that part yet.
From what I was looking at, what they were doing is that they were gonna go on and remove the tanks and then test the soil. I don't think they were gonna be doing any drilling, with this group.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Do I have a motion?
I move to approve item 16 as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I do have a second. Any further question? Call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Next item, number 17, receive an update on settlement with the AEP over the AEP application to amend its Rider Mobile Temporary Emergency Electric Energy Facilities, TEEEF, revenue requirement.
It's Robbie's day.
Mr. Terrell.
I know. This was a tough one. Yes, TEEEF. We had brought this, we intervened through Lloyd Gossett. They had let us know that AEP was going out. This was required from the PUC. They were going out, they were asking for a rider for $36,200,549. Ryder Gossett was like, no, let's intervene, see if we can knock this down. Maybe we can see what we can do to reduce this cost. We know it's mandatory, but see what we can do to reduce the cost. Council did vote to intervene, so we did the Texas City's AEP, and they did end up settling for $7.7 million less, which was $28 million. And they settled, I believe it was earlier this week. So you all had asked that I circle back around once we did settle up, or once we had more information. So we got it. So I'm just giving you all an update on that.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is city manager's update.
Okay, it's a long one in the packet. Sorry. I'll get it. Bob usually does this for me. I think the financials were double loaded in the packet, so it looks a lot longer than it is, but you do have a good set of financials in there. The few things I'll point out, it's not in there, but the police department just bought a little side-by-side for beach patrol and things like that. They have all of the equipment on hand already to outfit it and decal it and everything, so you'll see them more visibly at public events. They've been borrowing parks. I don't know that they're taking very seriously as park rangers, but so hopefully this will up their visibility during some of our outdoor events. Our water conservation message is working year over year. Water usage is down. That's what we need at this point. That means our revenue's down, so just take them both hand in hand. Police and communications both went to Kerrville One took some money, one took some goodie baskets for the 911 operators, spent some time loving on them and letting them know that the rest of the state saw them and appreciated them. So we appreciated the people that took their time to go do that. There will be a 4% increase in our trash rates per contract this coming year. So that will be commercial and residential. Everyone will see that. The mayor and I have a city connect on Thursday. This will be our third one. Fourth one. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout. They've been at different places, different times of day. Hopefully we catch different audiences with the times and locations. We'll get Matt, I think, scheduled for August. And I think this is probably something we'll just do rolling throughout the year. We may take off the holiday months. But I think a monthly commitment for us to do that is a good thing, because we do have people showing up. We do have people with good questions. Not everybody wants to ask their question in this forum, and I think reaching people where they are has been very successful for us. So we'll continue to do that. That's all that was to say. July 29th, we have a budget workshop. We're gonna have the hot information on that, and we are going to revisit a couple of items that we need follow-up on. If you have questions between now and then, shoot us an email so we can do the research, and then we'll not reply with an answer, but we'll have an answer at our meeting to anything that you send in, so that everybody gets the same information at the same time. But our group, most importantly, Robbie's group, has time to do research to get answers that you want. We also have an August 5th budget workshop, and then we'll have an August 11th workshop if needed. And then on October 22nd, we're gonna have what we're calling Rockport Annual Review, and it's gonna be State of the City. So mark it on your calendar. It'll be great. This is the most boring update I've ever given. The chief's laughing over there, sorry. I'll answer any questions if anyone has some. Okay, thank you, that's it.
Reports from council, Ward 1.
Yeah, attended the most recent budget workshop and, was lucky enough to attend, the Redfish Castle, Texas announcement for Rockport. So it's really good turnout there. That's about all for me right now.
Ward 2.
The little bit of just day-to-day working with Ryan's group and what have you, getting some road signage up and just more mundane stuff. Nothing real exciting, but I want to thank Ryan's team for responding very quickly to the folks in Ward 2 and helping them out. Thank you.
Ward 3.
To piggyback on Councilman Rangel, we attended our first budget workshop. Got some good numbers. Look forward to going over that some more. And the Redfish Capital. I want to thank Chairman Hunter and Senator Colcourse for making that happen for us. That was a pretty neat designation for the City of Rockport. We should be excited for it. We have some really cool art piece poster. There you go. Vanna White here holding up the sign.
More merch to come soon.
Do what? Merch?
More merch on the way.
More merch to come. Also, I would like to thank Chief Anderson and the Marine unit for working with the Navigation District and get some no-wake signs up in Little Bay. A little bit of team building exercise there between a couple entities, but the signs were provided by Navigation District, and PD went out and were able to place them around Little Bay and Key Legro. Some more to come, hopefully, with that. Other than that, I think that's all I have.
All right, Ward 4.
The CVB meeting was held last Monday, and I think, unfortunately I was there, but I know my understanding is they talked about the budget that they're gonna try to present into city council. I think they had some good leeway on that. On top of that, I think Annette is doing a great job going right head first and getting her feet wet and making things happen. So I think they're very happy with the work she's been doing so far. And also, again, just to piggy off what Councilman Matt had said, Ryan, thank you so much for getting some signage with the Rockport Country Club. Just getting that stuff out fast really helps us and shows that the city cares. And it's something that seems really small, but it means a lot to them. So thank you very much for the hard work that you guys do put out there to get it done. So that's about it. Thank you.
I want to thank our city staff. This time of year, there's a lot of people out there that are hot and sweaty and tired. Would just as soon be inside, cool and feeling better. And our folks see some of those people that are unhappy from time to time. And most of the people I've heard from lately have been very happy with their city staff. I hear from them when they're not. But I appreciate the hard work that all of them do, from the city manager all the way down to the smallest job we can find for anybody to do, which is probably being the mayor. But I deeply appreciate our staff. Thank you so much. It was really good seeing a young man come up here and get recognized for doing something very good. But a lot of times, nobody mentions when everybody else is doing a good job, and I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's all I've got. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.
It was a tie.